Welcome home. That's how we greet one another at Burning Man, but it also works here in Sonoma. Yes, I go to Burning Man. Burning Man is a gathering of 80,000 people who build a temporary city in the Nevada desert. It's a week-long celebration of creativity and community. There's no running water, no electricity, no money or barter. You must bring everything you need to survive and some to share, and then take it all home with you. It's incredibly challenging, outrageously fun, and deeply meaningful. This is not a festival where you buy a ticket and wait to be entertained. Here you become the entertainment for everyone else. It's a nonstop superabundance of music, lights, costumes, sculptures, and activities, all competing for your participation. It's like a carnival on Mars. Whatever you may have heard about Burning Man is probably true. But that's not why I've been going for 18 years, or why I felt compelled to write a book about it. I wait all year to go to the most spectacular, outlandish, provocative art exhibit in the world. I go to Burning Man for the art. Art is the central foundation of this extraordinary universe we call Black Rock City, which becomes the fourth largest city in Nevada for 1 week. It functions on shared principles, which include radical self-reliance, radical inclusion, and communal effort. Art is placed at the literal and figurative center of the city, which covers 5 square miles. Over 400 pieces of large-scale art invite you to climb on them and light their fire and solve their riddles. Your participation becomes an essential piece of the art, and vice versa. There are no velvet ropes here. As a citizen of Black Rock City, it's my responsibility to determine how my participation affects the art and what it means to me. I can love a piece, or not. But even if the piece doesn't speak to me, I have to wonder what the artist was trying to convey and why I didn't get the message. This individual and interactive approach to art has spawned a worldwide art movement that's touching people far beyond Black Rock City. I believe Burning Man art is the impressionism of our day, happening right here, right now. It's touching people who will never venture into the desert, but who value creativity and expression and the power of art to amplify our human experience. In Black Rock City, there are no gallery walls, just vast open space for artists to fill as massively as they can. The pieces are temporary, but they're made to withstand 80-mile-an-hour winds and heat and lightning and so much dust. They're often made from repurposed materials on a bare-bones budget. They're designed by artists and built by volunteers who donate time and money to realize a collective vision. At night, many of the pieces are illuminated with thousands of lights or fire. And each evening, a few pieces are deliberately, ritually burned to the ground. And then their ashes are cleaned up, leaving absolutely no trace except in your memory. There are no signs telling you the name of the artist, and there are no price tags. The art here is not for sale. Everything is offered as a gift. There are also no curators. Everyone is welcome to bring what they make to Black Rock City. At Burning Man, anyone can become an artist, even if they're coming to the desert or building something for the very first time. As a participant, I can wander through a 3-story maze in the shape of a giant head, or feel the heat of a serpent mother spewing flame from her jaws, or dangle below 40 tons of granite suspended on chains. One group brought a 60-foot-tall polar bear made from car hoods to remind us about fossil fuels. Another group built a giant Rubik's Cube that took 15 total strangers 5 hours to solve together. There are also art cars called mutant vehicles. So I can peel out on a 3-seated banana, or ship out on a 3-masted schooner, or be a sucker for a flaming octopus. The art can be very large, but it also can be quite small or even wearable, like this. It changes every year, but there are always pieces that dazzle us with ingenuity and remind us of our shared responsibility and call us to action. Why would anyone want to haul a giant sculpture out to the middle of a barren desert? Why would they recruit their friends, run up their debt, push themselves to the absolute limit to make art for 1 week? Because they can. At Burning Man, they can build anything their art desires. Whatever they can scheme and dream and find people crazy enough to build, they can bring to the largest art gallery on the planet. If you've ever wished you could time travel back to Paris to drink absinthe with Manet and Cassatt, or hang out in Greenwich Village with Lee Krasner and Jackson Pollock, you have another chance. You can join the definitive art movement of our day here in Black Rock City, or stay here in Sonoma and discover its influence all around you. What makes this art an actual movement? Movements happen when a group of artists rebel against the existing establishment and put forth a new set of ideas. They make art in a particular time and place that shares characteristics, materials, or techniques. They adopt a common philosophy and they influence one another. This art more than meets that definition. This art is touching all of us. Much of the art is actually made here in Santa Rosa and Glen Ellen and Petaluma. You'll recognize it in your wineries and on your hillsides. Around the world, you'll discover these pieces in parks and civic centers. You'll see them all over the internet. The Smithsonian even devoted an entire exhibit to Burning Man art. And when you go to a museum, you will discover more and more art that is interactive, touchable, and welcoming. The velvet ropes are burning down. Burning Man art responds to this particular moment in our culture where we need to form an individual response to our complicated world. Very little has the power to surprise us anymore. But this art, wherever it appears, is a genuine source of wonder. It reminds us to dream our own dreams of the impossible and make them come true. Because if we can learn to find meaning in this collaborative, handmade art movement that happens in the middle of nowhere, we can challenge ourselves to find art that speaks to us everywhere. And I truly hope we do.